and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here today to do a full review episode for the Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon, distilled and bottled in Claremont, Frankfort, Kentucky, USA. The James B. Beam Distilling Company. Why do we always call it... No, wait. So James Beam is the actual guy, and maybe like the brand is Jim Beam. Is it like Jim Carrey and James Carrey? You know, I got into a fight with that guy over on X. Before it was X, it was Twitter. I'm still trying to get this thing. Hold on. I got into a little spat with that dude on Twitter. He called me an effing retard. Well, maybe I am, maybe not. But all my new viewers, welcome. You see, things can get a little bit oddballish. All my returning viewers, I don't have to explain to them. That's why they keep coming back. So, Basil Hayden, it's got this like little steel band. I think it's copper. Is that copper? Don't know. So we got a lot of information on this. A lot of information. I'm not even going to bother. It is a 40%, which is an 80 proof. I'll let you, it's a Booker's, or it's got a high rye mash bill of 27% rye. And someone claimed on one of these places that it was an 8-year. I think that would be more of a statement. It's a small batch. There's some more information up on here. Well, I'll try. There we go. It's a small bottle. It is a 375 milliliter. I did get this just under $20 out the door on a special sale. Let me go back on there. Calories, carbs, government. There you go. So like I said, I did get this out the door for less than $20. It's normally $30 for the 375. I come to understand that the full standard 750 is probably upwards of $50 for one of these bottles. Now this is a standard. I do understand that they have a few different variations or expressions. Now this was developed, I can smell it. Wow, I can really smell it. It's got a pretty like strong smell. I don't want to say it's like overpowering, but I can smell it from my glass. It was developed in 1992 by Booker No. And like I said, this bottle here, the smaller bottle goes for normally $30 out the door. The larger 750 is probably anywhere from $45 to $50 in my area. The nose, getting right to that, I can smell it from here. Ooh, it has like a dry, dusty peanut. Dry, dusty peanut that's followed by some weird caramel, oaky vanilla. Like that whole bourbon backside has a sort of a wild twist, and the caramel, it gives it sort of there's a slight twinge of like paint thinner. That's got to be like the ethanol part, but it's very interesting how all these bourbons kind of done the same way, but there's very small tweaks that can be made that can make them stand apart. So on the nose, definitely getting all those good bourbon characters. That weird twinge that makes the caramel and the vanilla stuff kind of like weird, walky, wombly kind of thing. But I guess we'll get past that nose and get to that first palate, because we know the first palate, just need to get it out of the way. Pretty decent viscosity. We work this first palating out of the way, and we'll get to the one that really counts. Now, I just read an article talked about 5 top whiskeys to avoid in 2026, and the top 5 that are definitely hands down winners. Now, of course, all the top 5 go-to bottles were the ones you expect. You know, the not so bad. The what was it? The Old Forester. Let me get the second palading. Evan Williams Black Label was on that 5 list, that top 5 list. And of course, all, you know, the Jefferson Ocean, you know, that was on the bad bottle side, because that was just about experience. That was just about, hey, this is something different. I guess you should buy it. And it's basically just lackluster, like the Angel's Envy. I like the Angel's Envy. I just think it's overpriced. For something that's over $50, you're getting something that's good, but it kind of has that little bit of a hurt because you're paying $50-something out the door for a bottle that should be more 40-ish. But I mean, if it doesn't hurt your wallet, it doesn't hurt your mind, it doesn't hurt your feelings, you do you, boo. And that's what we say in the Whiskey Tribe, not you do you, boo. In the Whiskey Tribe, we say, drink what you want the way you like it, or drink what you like the way you like it. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get that next palading. Look at that viscosity. Let me see if I can't reset it. Because I got it on the pour, and then it came out. Like I said, it's pretty good viscosity. See that? That's pretty good. Transfers kind of well onto the palate. You do get all that. There's a little bit of creaminess on the palate, which is kind of missing in a lot of other bourbons that I've tried and showcased on the channel. There's a lot going on in the back right now. The heat really kicked up. It's trying to push a 3, but I don't think it's going to make it. We'll see if it's there on the finish. But there's a lot of action going on the back end, not a whole lot going up front. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll get that finish on and we'll move on. Relatively smooth in the mouth, across the tongue. The oiliness from the viscosity kind of dances with things and you get a little bit of creaminess out of it. It's not too bad. Basil Hayden was one of those bottles that was on the top 5 to avoid list. There was a lot of information that was given out on that video and then through the article. They say that the marketing and the bottle itself is why you pay additional. And I kind of have to agree. I think this is a good bourbon. I do not think it's good for the price point that they usually sell it for. Now this small bottle was 30 and the bigger bottle pushes 50. That's about right for the size to price comparison, but it's still about 10 to 15, $10 too much for this bottle. I would definitely say this was okay for 20. I would definitely put it under 20. That's my fair price, is sub 20. Would I buy this again? No, not at this price. And the only other thing I think that pulls it down would be a little bit something on the taste just doesn't quite seem right. The nosing is weak and it has a weird sort of twinginess to it. I can't quite nail that down yet. I'm still only about a year into this whole thing. I'm still working on it. I think I've come a long way. I'd like to know what you would say. My score, well, let's do the finish. So there is a lot still, even on the finish, there's a lot going on in the back. There's a good, now it's a good 3. There's a good 3 out of 5 going on at the heat in the back end. The cheeks, the back of the cheeks and towards the jowls, and as I keep working it and I keep talking, now the gums between, you know, on the top lips and the gums are starting to kick in. I'd say a mild 1. The cheeks are a good 2. And you get that good solid 3 with the heat in the back. It's got a nice, good, intense finish. And one of the things that was said about Basil Hayden was that it kind of gets pushed for marketing reasons, and it's good for a good finish, but it's not a good nose, and the palating is kind of lacking. So they say sometimes this might be used for mixers or stuff like that. But I also say, yeah, you're paying a lot for the aesthetics than you are for paying what's in the bottle. My score, I'm going to give it a strong 3 out of 5. I think it's appropriate and earned. A strong 3 out of 5 is not bad. I wish it was a little more cost effective. I wish the price was a little bit lower. Would I buy this again? Like I said, no, because of the price. There's something off on the taste. The nose is kind of lacking, really lacking. But nothing horrible, nothing offensive, nothing that would tell me I'm definitely not trying that. Or if I was offered a drink, I definitely wouldn't turn this away. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. We'll call it a good one.